Good morning. Hello. Good morning. I'm not coming in here. Good morning. Hello. You gonna sit? Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Good morning. So you'll have to excuse the general level of chaos that is unfolding around me. I am on puppy duty today, and I've got some kind of coconut body cream on that Loki keeps licking, so if you see me kind of pushing him off, that's the reason. Also, very attractively, we've got all these throws. Thanks for knocking the camera, Pepper, that's really helpful. We've got these really attractive throws on the sofas. Stop licking me, Loki. So that the dogs don't scratch them with their claws. So yeah, all a little bit chaotic here today, but I thought that as I'm off today on puppy duty, as I said, and tomorrow I'm working from home, that I would film a reading vlog. So currently I am reading White Chrysanthemum by Mary Lynn Black. This is historical fiction. It's set in Korea in the 1940s, and trigger warning right off the bat, this features rape, and rape of a child or children at that. So it's quite a horrendous topic to read about, but it's to do with the comfort women, who were basically Korean young women who were abducted by Japanese soldiers and forced to be women of pleasure for them, basically. So I'm not too far in. I am just under 100 pages, but it's a really short book. It's a really quick read, so I'm going to try and make some progress with this, and then when I finish that, I'm torn between either picking up The Truth About the Harry Kubert Affair by Joel Dicker, or Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I'm on a little bit of a historical fiction kick at the moment, and this will blend historical fiction and fantasy, and should be quite an easy read quite nicely. But at the same time, despite the size of this, I'm just really fascinated to see what this book is going to be about. But the size, I mean, even the size of the writing is tiny. It's a little bit off-putting, so I'm torn between this or this. See how it goes, see how I feel once I have finished White Chrysanthemum. I think because this is quite a heavy topic to read about, I probably want something a little bit more light-hearted, and Clockwork Angel will fit that bill. As I said, I'm not too far in. The predominant story, we're following two sisters. We're following Emmy and Hannah. Hannah is basically captured in place of her sister and taken off with a Japanese soldier, and that's kind of where we're at with her story. And then we're following Emmy's storyline in 2011, so sort of more modern day, present day timeline, as she is living her life. She's a very old woman at this point, and we're just kind of getting to the fact that she feels some sort of guilt about her sister, but it kind of feels like maybe she doesn't remember her sister. I think she was about 7 when her sister was taken. So yeah, the story's just kind of beginning to develop and beginning to unfold, so don't know too much about it at this point. As I said, it's very good. It's very easy to read. Obviously not a comfortable topic to read about by any stretch, and it's funny that I picked this up because I've just finished my book club pick, Dear Edward, and that was really good writing, but a really difficult topic to read about as well, because it was to do with a little boy whose family basically die in a plane crash, and he's the only survivor. So yeah, it's you're gonna get up, Lokes. There you go. So again, although I enjoyed the writing style, and although I thought that it read really well and it was a fantastic book, not that I'm reviewing that, but it's just not a comfortable topic to read about. It's quite a horrendous topic, and this is the same. So the writing style is really good, but it's not a comfortable book to read by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, they're kind of my plans. I've got a few different chores to do. Watching the puppy, I am about to pop out. We're trying to build up Loki's resilience to being left on his own, so I am going to nip out and go to the shop just now, and then I'll come back and have some lunch, and then I'll do some reading this afternoon, and then I'm on call for emails with work, so I've just got a ton of different things happening today. But in between all of that, hopefully there will be some good time for reading, despite the fact that I also have the 2 dogs to look after as well. So I will check in with you all in a little while. I'm going to pop out now. I'm going to stop this chaos that's about to unfold, and yeah, I will speak to you all in a little while. Decided to go to McDonald's for my dinner because it's 10 to 1 now. Not the healthiest choice, but a very convenient one. I popped into a couple of different shops while I was here. Really surprised at the lack of face masks, and I'm not going to get political about it or anything, but in the UK from the 24th of July, wearing a face mask in a shop is compulsory. It's the 20th. And just people are not bothering. I think I saw maybe 2 other people and myself wearing a face mask. Yeah, just a bit weird, isn't it? So anyway, I'm going to eat my dinner now, and then I'm going to head home, and hopefully Loki will not have created too much of a disaster zone. In here to do some quiet reading, and I'll just flip the camera around. This is not going to go well. Absolutely nothing good can come of the fact that this puppy has decided to try and lie next to this doggy who desperately wants to sleep. Never mind that this is her toy that she let him steal earlier. He's taunting her with it. So quick reading update. It's about 20 to 5 now. I did do some reading and then I played with the dogs. I answered some work emails, I took some Instagram photos. I've managed to do 5 loads of laundry today as well, which I have been helped by the fact that the weather is really nice and I've been able to hang it outside, but 5 loads, I don't even know how. I've still got washing left to do. Anyway, enough of all that. I've probably got about half an hour to squeeze in some more reading now. Loki has got a vet appointment at 5:20. It's his first since he landed with us in the UK. So he's gonna get a general checkup and have a booster vaccination. So hopefully everything will be okay, but I've got to leave for that in about half an hour. In terms of where I got to, let me grab it. I read up to page 138 of White Chrysanthemum. This is a really difficult book to read. As I mentioned earlier, major trigger warning for rape and sexual abuse. One of our sisters, Hannah, is 16 when she is abducted by the Japanese soldiers, and the first day that she is in the brothel, she is raped repeatedly by 20, maybe even 30 Japanese soldiers, and it's just a very uncomfortable topic to be reading about, but obviously it's the kind of thing that's important to read. I did flick to the back and read the historical timeline, where it talks about the fact that the Korean and Japanese governments are still pretty much in denial that these comfort women existed, despite the fact that many women have bravely spoken out about their experiences. Basically nothing has come of it. No one has been forced to admit or apologize for any level of war crime. Yeah, it's just horrendous, and I don't want to say too much about it at this point because I don't feel like I have a full understanding. I would like to finish the book and maybe do a little bit of extra research, but yeah, it was just something that I was vaguely aware of, but just not to the extent that is described in this book, and it just doesn't make for comfortable reading at all. My heart just absolutely breaks for Hannah and for the other women that she's with in the brothel. And then where we are at with Hannah's sister, Emmy, obviously she is in the more present day timeline. She is attending, at the moment she's attending something called a Wednesday protest. So in the 90s, when the first comfort woman spoke up, protesters started gathering every single Wednesday outside the Japanese embassy in, I want to say Seoul, but I might be pronouncing that wrong. It might just be Seoul. And have continued to do so. I don't know whether they still do to this present day, but certainly in the 2011 timeline that I'm reading about, they have been gathering every single week since the 90s. So yeah, it's just, I always struggle with the right kind of terminology to use when talking about these books, because I'm enjoying and appreciating the writing style, but obviously it's not an enjoyable topic to read about, a very important one, but not an enjoyable one. But I'm learning a lot. It's definitely something that I am glad that I have picked up. I'm going to carry on reading now, as I said, for about half an hour. Definitely think I'm going to need something a bit more fluffy and light-hearted after reading this, but I would like to get this finished, and I would like to do a little bit of research on the topic, see how things are now, and certainly I'll update you before I finish it, but once I finished it I'll try and give more of a rounded and informative overview of the book and the subject matter in general, and I will do my best to honour it. So yes, I'm going to pause now on chattering away, do half an hour's more reading, take a look to the vets, and then yeah, I'm sure that I will update you all in a little while. Go on, Luke. Good morning. So I haven't had time to do my hair yet, so you'll just have to excuse what I look like at the moment. I'm actually working from home today. I do have to pop out to one of our food bank centres in a couple of hours, so I'll do that shortly, but I wanted to give you a quick reading update. I'm now on page 184. As I've said countless times, this is an interesting book to read, but it is not a comfortable subject to be reading about by any stretch of the imagination. Hannah, our sister who was abducted and taken to the brothel, has just got to a point where she has now been rescued by the Japanese soldier who abducted her in the first place, and they are running off to Mongolia together. And obviously for Hannah, it's all these conflicting emotions. She absolutely despises the soldier who took her there, as you might expect, but he is also giving her an opportunity at freedom. But I just find myself so angry because he is expecting Hannah to be grateful to him, but of course he was the one who took her from her home in the first place and subjected her to all the horrendous rape and abuse and atrocities. So yeah, it's just not a comfortable subject matter to read about. Probably going to maybe read for another 15 minutes, so I might just be able to cross the 200-page mark. This book is just over 300 pages long, so I have not got much more to go before I finish it. Should hopefully get it finished today. I would hope to get it finished before I have to go out, but we'll see. I do need to answer a few emails and do some design stuff, but yeah, just thought I would check in, update you, let you know how I'm getting on. I will say the writing style has turned a little bit stilted. I thought that it was quite easy to read, but I am struggling to concentrate a little bit now. I think it's gone a little bit stilted. Could just be me, could just be the subject matter. I'm trying to read it more from a non-fiction point of view as well, because obviously this did actually happen to countless women and young girls. So yes, probably gonna press pause now. I'm gonna utter my famous line, which is I'm gonna go make a cup of tea, answer some emails, do maybe 10-15 minutes more reading, and then I need to get ready to go out, I think. So yeah, I will check in with you all in a little while. come out to a secure dog field to practice Loki's recall training. He's doing so well, he absolutely knows his name, and he's doing really well. Hey Loki, what are you doing? Now demonstrating that he doesn't know his name, but it's just so beautiful. Like just in the middle of this, well, apart from the pylon obviously, but yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. Although it was sunny when we set off, not so sunny now. So I really quickly want to wrap this reading vlog up now. Last night I finished White Chrysanthemum, and after some reflection I have decided not to give this a rating, simply because if I was rating it on its storytelling then it would probably rate quite lowly, but in terms of it being informative and teaching me something about a part of World War II history that I was pretty ignorant about up till this point, then I think it does a good job. In terms of its storytelling, there are just some elements that fall a little bit flat, particularly in terms of character development. It just didn't quite do it for me, but I feel like I am now more informed and more aware of comfort women and the way that they fit into the story of the Second World War, and in particular their lack of representation and the lack of knowledge, I guess, and understanding about what they went through. And as I said earlier in the vlog, you know, the fact that the Korean and the Japanese governments are simply refusing to acknowledge that these women exist and that their plight and their trauma was real is just absolutely horrendous. And yes, I'm really glad I read it for that reason, and I have just decided to treat it like a non-fiction, and I won't be giving it a rating, but I'm glad that I picked it up. And then because, let's just pretend that you can't see that pile of unread books behind me, several piles of unread books behind me, because the subject matter was quite heavy, I decided to then go ahead and pick up Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in the Infernal Devices. It's historical fiction meets fantasy, and I'm not too far in. I'm about 57, I'm 57 pages in. Enjoying it. Probably, I think, on reflection, should have waited a little bit in between White Chrysanthemum and this one, because it's taken me a little bit of time to get into it, and I feel like I get on with Cassandra Clare's writing and normally I would just fly through it, but I felt like I'm wading a little bit, and I think it's just because I picked it up too soon after. But yeah, that's what I'm currently reading, and then I'm probably going to pick up Harry Quebert, and then yeah, we'll just see how it goes, but that is the end of the reading vlog. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you enjoyed that it was a little bit more kind of day in the life, just footage of me pottering around. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know if you've read any of the books that I've talked about in this video, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Take care, and I will see you all soon.